Hey guys, sorry it's taken so long to get back to this, to get you guys another video. But after I got that done, I tried to give it a month or two to kind of drive it around, confirm everything was all good, which it was. I got a lot more power. Its drivability is a lot better. Now when I get on it, I do still leave a plume of smoke behind me now. It's like you see them old boys in their big old diesel trucks. They can, roll the coal with it. So now I got a Mercedes that'll roll the coal. But it is what it is, The smell, it's got a little bit of a smell. I know that was something that people was talking about. The smell's not that bad. I mean, especially once you get used to it, it's just it is what it is. It's not anything different than moving to a different house and you got new smells in it. Or you buy a different car and it has a little bit of a different smell than other cars. It's not like it's every time you walk up to the car you got this awful smell or nothing like that. Performance-wise, it runs good. The fuel economy is pretty good. Right after I got it done, I was averaging like 31 miles a gallon, 31, something like that. That has since came back down a little bit. I'm looking more like 26, 28, I think now. But I'm having other issues, not related to the DPF now. When I first took my car into Mercedes, you would have thought they would have told me, because I paid like $165 for a diagnostic on the DPF. They told me my DPF was bad, it was plugged up, and it was a $5,000 fix. They, however, did not tell me that the crankcase vent valve was bad, and the turbo was sucking all kind of oil up out of the engine block and putting it right into the cylinder to be put right into my DPF. I mean, when you put a bunch of oil in there with combustion, it doesn't exactly burn, and it sends all that soot and remnants out into the exhaust. And then you got that filter there to catch it, which is what it was doing, and it was plugging up with all the oil. I really think that was my problem. The CCV is what they call it, a CCV valve, is bad. I'm 99.9% sure it's bad. I went from I was burning about 3 quarts of oil a week to now I'm only burning maybe 3 quarts of oil a month, maybe a month and a half. So it's substantially better. And if you guys are interested, I haven't replaced the part yet. I plan on it in the near future. But if you guys need help on that, I can show you how I figured out that mine was bad. As of right now, I actually have it kind of bypassed. It's not really bypassed because you can't really bypass it. The crankcase still needs to be able to breathe. But I've got it breathing to the atmosphere kinda, and I'm not using near as much oil now. So oil-wise now, I know the Mobil 1 that it calls for is real expensive, and it's real expensive because it's got all kind of stuff in it to keep it from burning and creating ash, and ash being in your exhaust, plugging up your DPF. If you go this route, you don't have a DPF anymore, so you ain't got to worry about plugging it up. So it kind of renders all of that engineering that went into it useless. So instead of still buying that expensive oil, I run Shell Rotella T6 is what I run in it now, and it seems to run great. I don't have any noises or anything like that. I don't have any overheating issues or nothing. I mean, I've done a lot of research on it. I actually read through, I've spent weeks on forums trying to read, because as I stated, I was going through about 3 quarts of oil a week, and that gets expensive with that Mobil 1 oil. But I want a good, healthy running engine, so I stuck with the Mobil 1. But in my research now, I don't really need the mobile one. So what I was reading from several forums is that the Shell Rotella T6 is actually what people run in these things in other countries. When they get rid of the DPF, the Shell Rotella is number one, pretty much, is what they say. So that's what I run now. The other underlying issues I'm having, like I said, I got that CCV valve, and in my acceleration video, you've seen the check engine light. That has nothing to do with the CCV valve. The check engine light is on because of fuel pressure. I started out getting about a month and a half, 2 months ago, high and low fuel pressure codes. So I changed the filter, which is like $120 on this thing. And the filter was then leaking, so I had to change it again, which is kind of annoying. But I recommend probably going to Mercedes and actually ordering one. I went to an auto parts store and got one, but it came highly recommended from other forums. It said it was still good quality and stuff. But I put it on and it was leaking, so I had to take it back and get an exchange on it. Got a second one, put it on. When I put the second one on, I stopped getting low pressure codes. Now I get a lot of high pressure codes, but I only get high pressure codes. I'm not 100% sure if it's related to the filter or not. I'm not 100%. I've looked it up, and another problem that people have with them fuel-wise is the fuel pressure regulator. I guess there's a valve that kind of regulates how much fuel pressure is in the fuel lines or in the fuel rails. I believe that is probably the culprit here on my vehicle. So I figure I'll probably try swapping that part out. If I do, if you guys want to see, just in case, let me know. I'll make another video on that. And if you guys want as well the CCV, I'll show you guys. I will be replacing that. I'm pretty sure that's bad, but I'm going to replace that. So if you guys want to see that, then I can go ahead and show you guys how to replace that and what all is involved. Mine's a 2012. I know my fuel filter, when I bought it, I originally ordered one and it came in. So then I went and picked it up and brought it home, took everything off the car just to realize it was the wrong fuel filter. So a 2012 is what I ordered for a 2012 model. I actually had to go back and reorder one for a 2013. So I'm not sure if my engine is maybe a little bit different. Maybe it's a 13 engine in a late 2012 or something. I don't really know the situation with that. But anyways, I got the fuel filter in, I stopped getting low pressure. Now I only get high pressure. I'm thinking probably that pressure valve. So I'm going to probably replace that. It's $150. Like I said, if you guys want to see, let me know. I'll do a video on that as well. That shouldn't be near as much as what this whole thing has been. This DPF issue has been a real process. So I'll go ahead and show you that if you guys want. And the CCV, I'm burning a lot of oil. That actually is a very common, from what I was reading, is a very common thing on these, is that they burn oil. These things go through oil. I didn't know that when I bought it. I probably would have bought a gas engine if I knew. But I got a diesel because I wanted it to run forever. And I know Mercedes diesels have that reputation for lasting forever. But, so they say they go through the oil. A common reason for them to go through the oil is the CCV. The crankcase has to breathe. You can't just get rid of it. So, but what I've got right now is the CCV. My CCV is bad, and I've basically vented it to the atmosphere instead of putting it back into the intake. Because there's a valve that's supposed to stop it from sucking oil up through the crankcase up into the turbo, which is what I've been doing. So I've bypassed it. If you guys want to see how I've done that or how I determined it was bad, let me know. I'll make another video showing you guys all of that information. As for the DPF, we're all good. The tune is great. I got you the clip at the beginning here showing you the acceleration, which is a lot better. And that acceleration, I'm not going to lie to you, I actually went into limp mode about halfway through that. So that's not actually an accurate depiction of the acceleration on this thing, what it will do now. But the limp mode is because when I open the throttle up, I get that high pressure code. When that high pressure code kicks in, it puts it in a limp mode, but not like before. When it went into limp mode, I could only do 30-40 miles an hour. Now I can still do 60, 70, 80 miles an hour if I wanted. It just doesn't have the pulling power. So if I start going up an incline or something, then it kind of falls off, doesn't maintain. But that's not related to the DPF. The DPF is good. It's rock solid. And like I said, I can roll the coal in this thing now. I don't, it's a Mercedes. You don't really want to do that, but hey. But anyways, DPF is good. I will do a final wrap up to show you guys actually, because I know it's been spread out over videos, but I've tried to keep it updated as much as I can as I go along. That way you guys can understand what actually is involved in the process. Because you don't know. I couldn't find anything, so I got left out in the dark. So everything I've done, I've just been figuring it out, and I've been trying to film it as I've been figuring it out. I waited on this video because I wanted to give it a month or two to make sure that it was all good before I said, hey, look, go to these people and get this done. And then a month later, you're having all kind of issues with it. I'm having issues, but I think they were going on before this whole DPF thing. I don't think they're related. But in a nutshell, she's all done. She's running good for the most part. Not related, but like I said, I will let you guys know on that stuff. If you want, just put it in the comments or ask questions or say, hey, I would like to know about this. I'm having a problem too, or for future reference. Maybe I will just make a video just for future reference. I don't know. So as I stated, I will do a wrap-up video after this just to let you know, because it's all spread out. I'll do a video to showcase what tools you need and what the actual step-by-step process I did is. And I know I've had a couple of people say, well, why even put the DPF back on? Because it's going to limit your fuel economy and your power and all that. I've seen those comments on the videos so far, and I didn't per se put the DPF back on. The DPF, the exhaust portion of the DPF is still on the car, but there is nothing in it. The actual filter that's inside the DPF is gone, and everything is mounted back up. If you put this thing up on a rack and you climb underneath of it and look, like if you had like an inspection or something like that, you're not going to be able to look at it and notice right off that this thing has been tuned and the emissions are removed. The only way you would know that the emissions are removed is if I leave a plume of smoke. They don't do that when they got all that filtering crap on there. They don't leave a plume of smoke when you accelerate real hard. This, however, does. So, that's the only real indicator right now. So if someone was to, my state doesn't do inspections, so I shouldn't have any problems. So, but if I go through, I know it's an issue, whatever, but if anyone rolls up underneath my car and looks, ain't nobody going to actually know without really digging into it. You ain't going to be able to tell that anything's been done to it. It looks stock. So, for future reference, that's how I did mine. And like I said, a wrap-up video will be coming. I'll show you all of the tools I used, step-by-step instructions on what I did, and the end result. That way, instead of having to watch a whole series of videos, you can watch the one, let you know if you want to do it, and then if you actually want to see the process of doing it, then you can go through the videos and kind of see the process of what's actually going on. So, but that's it for now. Like I said, I've been telling you guys, I've had comments asking for updates and stuff. I know I've been slacking on that, but I gave it a month or two to drive it to confirm for you guys that it was good before I gave it my thumbs up. And I drove it for about a month or two, and then I slacked off on making I tried to make the video, and I didn't. Bottom line is I kind of was getting lazy about it, and I held off on the video. Then I started having other issues, and I thought, well, crap, I don't want to do this and then show it to you guys, and then you guys think that it's all related to that, because I'm pretty confident they're separate issues, that they're not related to the tune or the DPF removal or anything like that. But it's kind of got drug out so far. You know, I know a lot of people are asking if you're having the problem. I know, like in my case, if you are having this problem, you don't want to wait a year or two to fix it. You're going to either sell the vehicle, send it down the road, or you're going to try to fix it. It's a great car. I love the car. The car is nice. It rides nice. It looks nice. Everything in it seems nice. It's got nice features and nice materials in it. Nice leather on the dash and the seats and the doors, and you know, it's a real nice car, and it's worth keeping if you can get all that stupid crap taken care of. And that's what I've done. I'm still working at it, and I will keep you guys up to date on the other stuff as I go through it. I'll probably video it anyway and put it on here, because I've tried Googling that stuff too, and nobody has anything on it either. There ain't nobody out there really working on these things showing you anything. I mean, there's few and far in between they'll show you stuff, but usually those people are just like what I call parts replacers. I like to know what the issue is, what's causing the issue, and if there's a part that I can fix, I'll fix it rather than replacing the whole thing. Especially on these cars, because when you go to replacing a lot of stuff, it gets expensive. That, like I said, that CCV is a $150 part. It's like a $20 part on pretty much anything else. But this one is a whole lot more involved than those other ones. So it's a lot different animal. And the fuel pressure regulator, that's $150. So I'm looking at another $300 in parts on this thing. So, you know, that is what it is. Like I said, I'm gonna get on that stuff, and I'll let you guys know as I do it. I mean, if someone's doing it, I might as well go ahead and film it, let you guys know what's up, because ain't nobody doing it. We all have problems. Gotta get this stuff fixed, man. So that's it for me. I'm out, and just go for the tune. If you have a diesel, a Mercedes diesel, and it doesn't, even if it doesn't have issues, I recommend doing this. That way you can be ready for it, and you can be prepared for everything that's going on. If you have the money just to spend, you can get the downpipe that eliminates all of that DPF stuff, or the mid pipe, I think is what they call it. Gets rid of your DPF and all of that, and you don't have to worry about the plugs and the wires and all that. Just eliminate all of that stuff. If you want to spend the money on that, that would probably be easier than what I did. But I travel a lot, and I drive through states that have inspections, and I don't want a cop to roll up under it and, hey, look at that. That would happen to me. So, but I recommend this tune. It runs good. It's got lots of power. I initially got 31-ish miles a gallon, something like that, and plenty of power. I drove, you know, I live in the South. I drive up. I come from the Ohio area, southern Ohio, but I drive all up through the mountains and everything. And I mean, I'll pull a whole mountain, and this thing won't even downshift once. I mean, I used to have a Toyota Sienna, and it would downshift 2 or 3 times trying to climb a mountain. And I had a Lexus, it did the same thing. And this thing, it's got the power, it's got the torque, it pulls. But I highly recommend it. So that's my update. Peace out, guys. Have a good day.